lead position. Alan Boss in a 350C to chase now. Arietta initiates. Both drivers are boarding on first outside zone. Noise from both those vehicles. And we do have a winner. Alan Boss will get the victory. Alan Boss will move on. I appreciate the one hand clapping. We got Mike Vogt in the burnout box warming up his tires. Going up against Fernandez. Victor piloting that Mustang. All right, for everyone hanging out here today, thank you guys for showing up here to hang out with us at Raceway Park, The Gambler. We're now live on YouTube. You want to head over to the Raceway Park YouTube and Facebook pages, and you can catch the live event. And we'll jump right back into it. Mike Vogt taking that lead position. And Vitor in that Mustang trying to chase him down. Vogt just taking in the outside zone. Vitor trying to follow him in, trying to close that gap up. They work their way outside zone number 2. Mustang. Staying in her. Just doing Mustang things over there while the Corvette's going back in. We'll get our drivers resituated and spun back around on the grid and swap position. Vitor taking the lead. Mike Vogt to chase. we got our drivers back up in the grid, sitting under that Raceway Park tower. With that new Pro Tree getting illuminated, stage lights are on, ambers are on, and a green light means we have to go ahead and start this battle. Vidor in that Mustang taking the lead position. Mike Vogt in the Corvette to chase. Vogt putting the pressure on as they initiate. Vidor failing to initiate under that Mustang. Mike Vogt getting a little bit of space and starting to drift. Mike Vogt showcasing that he has the capabilities of chasing. Doesn't look like the Mustang got all its quirks worked out. We had a long day of practice and qualifying yesterday. These drivers had to fix their cars overnight and jumped right into a battle today. With impending rain on the horizon, we're burning through battles as fast as we can today to keep these guys in the dry. And we do have a verdict. Mike Vogt gets the win. Mike Vogt in the Corvette gets the win. Our next two drivers up on the line, Da Silva and Mangle. Mangle piloting that IS-300 in the chase position. Da Silva piloting that green E36 in the lead. Here we go, Da Silva taking that lead position in the green E36. Mangle putting the pressure on the outside of the zone. Both drivers working away in the final outside zone as Bruno keeping it off the wall. Mangle needs to pick up the wheel speed a little bit in that IS-300. We got our drivers back around, set up on the grid. Mangle in that IS-300 taking that lead position. Bruno Da Silva in that green E36 in the chase. The lights have illuminated, the green light is on. That means the second half of this battle can go. As Mangle whips out from under the tower. Bruno right there on the door waiting for him to initiate. A little bit of a gap. Forward outside zone number one in transition. Bruno with a Interesting to say the least, Chris. Interesting to say the least. Definitely not making it an easy job for the judges. Da Silva in that green E36 with a big correction in outside zone 2. And it's going to cost him. Zach Mangle with the win. Zach Mangle is going to move on to the top 16. Our next battle up on the line, B-Hop, Brian Hop, sitting on the line, holding on to that $25 Let It Ride token thanks to TireStacks.com. Going up against Tyler Root, piloting that E36 next to him. B-Hop trying to lay down a few hop quakes with that VQ-powered S13. Waiting on the judges, waiting for our green light here at Raceway Park, the Gambler. And the green light's illuminated. Brian Hop jumping out of the chicane in that lead position. Tyler Root in the chase. Hop initiates, Root initiates. Both drivers hop deep in the outside zone line as Tyler Root making some major corrections. Wiggle on his way outside zone number 2. Stands back line trying to outside zone number 2. Tyler Root trying to close the proximity through the go through the front inner clip. Hop doing a great job as Root just doing as much as he can to keep up with that plenum spacer and that VQ of Brian Hop. If anybody didn't know, that's the secret sauce in all of B-Hop's vehicles. It's a plenum spacer. Go to his pit and talk to him about it. Dummy Boy Mike and Gorka Arietta. Yeah, damn right, Tyler. All right, our driver's back up in the line. Stage lights illuminating. Tyler Root in that lead position. Brian Hop in the chase. Green lights down, no reds. We got a clean start. Tyler Root trying to burn away from that VQ-powered S13. Root initiates deep in outside zone number 1 as Hop drives around Root. That plenum spacer just giving him Root's mistakes. Unfortunately for Tyler Root, maybe having a few setup difficulties here, not putting down what the judges wanted to see, giving the win to Brian Hop, doubling his $25 Tire Stacks token to $50, taking that win into the top 16. Big shout to TireStacks.com for supplying that Let It Ride token. Brian Hop will be walking in with that $50 token into his top 16 battles with the chance to double it to $100 if he keeps on winning. For you guys tuning in at home, we got a couple of our drivers with a last man standing bet as well. These last man standing pot, each driver threw in $100, and the last man standing of that group of drivers gets to take every single dollar of it. Not only that, all the drivers here will be competing for the first, second, and third place finishing prizes of $4,000, $2,000, and $1,000, as well as all these Let It Ride tokens that double values with each win throughout the bracket and can be stolen from drivers at any point with a loss. Ooh, puppy. this time, I need all competing drivers to report to the grid for your battles. All competing drivers, report to the grid. We got Doug Santana sitting on the line, taking his sweet time in that burnout box. Now we're waiting on Max Kimlin, who took his sweet time to get up to the tower. Both these guys, a lazy approach up to their battle. Let's see if they can turn it up now. Finally got our drivers up on the grid, sitting underneath that Raceway Park tower, waiting for that brand new Pro Tree to illuminate. We got stage lights illuminated, amber's on, green light on. No reds, no rammies, no whammies, no whammies. And we got a clean start. Doug Santana in the lead. Max Kimlin the chase. Santana in that E46, avoiding that first outside, taking away a little real estate from Kimlin as he tries to get back on the board. Kimlin jumps through the smoke, wide from Kimlin as both drivers avoid the wall of death and over the finish line. They took their sweet time to get out here, but wasted no time to start throwing down. Hey, Dad. Sorry, Bill, Sarah lied to you. All right, we got our drivers back up in the line underneath that Raceway Park tower here at the Gambler. Max Kimlin in that Corvette in the lead position. Doug Santana in the chase. Max initiates Doug right there. Getting a little stabby through outside turn number one. Right on the backside of the Corvette, jumps to the door handle. Max Kimlin, Doug Santana. Doug trying to put the pressure on as Max Kimlin working his way through the Gambler's track here. All right, our boys of efficiency are gonna go one more time. We're gonna send them back to the pits and hope they show up within a reasonable amount of time for a one more time battle. Our next battle up on the line, Nils, Norway Nils sitting in that crazy green truck up against one of the Arietta boys, Carlos piloting that SC300. And stage lights on, amber's on, green on. See if we can get a clean start out of the chicane, and we do. Norway Nils initiates. Carlos Arietta trying to follow through. Nils gets even outside turn number one as Carlos trying to put the pressure on the outside turn number two. Keeping his composure behind him. A good first half of the battle here. Raceway Park, the Gambler. As we're waiting for our drivers to flip back around and swap positions, a big shout out to our Let It Ride sponsors here at the Gambler. Each one of these sponsors have put up a risky amount of money here, starting off with a $25 token that can double with each win as the driver works their way through the battle. A big shout out to Drift HQ, TireStacks.com, Freedom Motorsports, East Coast Drift School, and South Bay Fuel Injectors. Thank you guys for supplying some Let It Ride tokens for this gambler round here at Raceway Park. It looks like our drivers are back up on the line. We got our we have our track crew out on the track resetting some zones for us. Carlos Arrieta in that SC300 sitting in that lead position. Norway Nils with the truck sitting in the left hand. What truck is that? Is it a Mazda? It's a Ram? It's a Dodge Ram. Is that a black on black Dodge Ram? Nils should paint his car black in the black on black Dodge Ram. And here we go, Carlos Arrieta taking that lead position. Norway Nils in the Dodge Ram, flicking it behind. Carlos getting out the outside number one. Nils diving through the smoke, trying to clean it dives back to the smoke, jumps up to the front axle. Carlos Arrieta's SC300 across the finish line. Solid second half of the battle here from both these drivers. We're gonna have to go to the judges to find our verdict. And this whole time, Chris, I've just been doing you dirty. Carlos Arrieta is sitting on a $25 Let It Ride token thanks to East Coast Drift School. If Carlos Arrieta can take away a win from this battle, he will double that $25 token into $50. If Nils can walk away with a win, he will steal that $25 East Coast Drift School token. LZ already went. And we have our first theft of this round, the gambler. Norway Nils is gonna take the win in his Dodge Ram, stealing that East Coast Drift School $25 token. And look who decided to show up on time. Doug Santana and Max Kimlin back up on the line for their one more time battle. Doug Santana piloting that blue E46, sitting in that lead position in the chicane. Max Kimlin piloting that Corvette in the chase. And here we go, our one more time battle between Doug Santana and that lead position. Max Kimlin with the Corvette in the chase. Doug initiates. Both drivers a little shy of outside zone number one as Max trying to put the pressure on as they enter outside zone number two. On the E46 of Doug Santana, both drivers working under equip. Staying away from the wall of death and over the finish line. And Kimlin. There's not many rules here, but that's one. We have a rule here at the Gambler. We do not want you spinning over the finish line. We'll have to wait for the judge's final verdict, but that's definitely not going to weigh well in the second half of the battle. You hate to see it. They have that stuff on the big jobs. All right, Max Kimlin sitting in that lead position. Doug Santana in the chase. And here we go, second half of this one more time battle. Max Kimlin in the Corvette taking that lead position. Doug Santana in that blue E46. Both drivers ripping at the straight out of the tower and initiate. Kimlin getting out to outside zone number 1. Santana, a little e-brake grab, trying to pop out to the line. As Doug Santana putting the pressure on now. Kimlin getting up the top. Both drivers working back out to zone 2. Rolling back into that inner Both drivers transition at last and final zone. Kimlin cranking the angle on. Spinning it right up before the finish line, Doug Santana, keeping it out of the side of the Corvette. Definitely not what we want to see out of Max. And unfortunately for Max Kimlin, those spins aren't going to weigh well, and Doug Santana gets the win. Doug Santana gets the win. Our next driver's up on the line, Turbo Mike, sitting in that lead position, that blue S14, going up against Cleverton in that GT-equipped black 350Z. Turbo Mike avoiding outside zone number 1. Cleverton putting the pressure on, and they work into outside zone number 2. Cleverton shuts it down. Turbo Mike finds the line outside zone number 2, works out that wide line. Cleverton trying to put the pressure back on. Already making a few mistakes throughout his run. Turbo Mike crosses over the finish line. All right, our drivers are back underneath the tower. Turbo Mike in that chase position, sitting there with that blue S14, going up against Cleverton in that black 350Z. And the green lights are illuminated. Second half of this battle, Cleverton in that black 350Z taking the lead position. Turbo Mike in that blue S14 chasing him down. A slow start there. Both drivers finally initiate, working the way to outside zone number 2. Both drivers cranking the angle on. This is the exit outside zone number 2. Mike driving the pressure on the side of Cleverton's 350Z. Both drivers survive over the finish line here at Raceway Park, the Gambler. And we have a verdict from the judges. Turbo Mike will get the win. Turbo Mike gets the win. For you guys tuning in on the live stream, we'll have our drone pilots in the air for top 16. We're going to ramp up the stream going into that top 16 ceremonies. So make sure you invite your friends, tell your moms. And Sarah's dad is still here. Big shout out to Bill. And while we're out shouting out people, big shout out to Premio Sausage, the way sausage should be. We also have a celebrity in the house, Mike Powers down there. Look at him, he can't even hear me. He's got his headphones on, jamming out the Spice Girls. How you doing, bud? All right. And here we go, jumping right into our next battle here. Skipping our bye run from Tyler Coley, our second qualifier driver. We got Nate Chen and that committed service brand FRS blazing out of that tower. Going up against Jachulin. Max trying to clean it up. Running over our quick. Not sure if he just put too much speed and wasn't ready to chase down Nate Chen's FRS. Not quite sure what happened. We go back over the live stream here, the instant replays. All right, hopefully that BMW cleaned up, taking that lead position. Jachulin piling that E92 gray BMW, piling out of the chicane right now is Nate Chen in that committed service brand FRS, chasing him down. Both drivers initiate. Jachulin getting deep in outside zone number 1. As Nate Chen showing a little bit of patience as he waits for him to get him outside zone number 2. Back in a little bit, corrects both drivers in the danger zone as both drivers come over the finish line. And we have a verdict. Nate Chen in a committed service brand FRS is going to take the win. Nate Chen takes the win. Our next battle up on the line, Barack in that gray E36, sitting in that lead position. Going up against the man, the legend himself. The SR20 gods are looking down on the man. Andrew Fable piloting that S14 in the chase. Fable's out here fighting the good fight, trying to lower prices of SR20s. Azar sitting in that lead position. Fable in the chase. All right, we got our clipping zones all set back up, cleaned up. Big shout out to our track staff. Thank you guys very much. We got our drivers sitting underneath that Raceway Park Tower with our new Pro Tree, waiting for our staging lights to illuminate. And there we go, our stage lights illuminated, amber's on, green lights lit. That means we have the go-ahead for this battle. Barack taking that lead position, that gray E36. Andrew Fable in the chase in that blue S14. With a major gap and a fail to initiate from Fable. As Azar working his way to outside zone number 2, Fable. Working into the turn now. Azar keeps it off the danger zone, as well as Fable. Both drivers cross over the finish line. our drivers are back around the tower. Andrew Fable looking to showcase a little bit of a run here in the lead position, sitting in the chicane underneath that Raceway Park tower. Barack Azar sitting in that gray E36. And here we go, second half of the battle. Let's see if the SR20 gods are looking down on Fable this time. As he initiates it outside zone number one, fills outside zone number one. Barack trying to close out that gap as they work their way to outside zone number two. As Fable going all the rock runs outside zone number two. Throws it back into that inner clip. That gray E36 tries to push the pressure back on in a correction as Fable gets deep into outside zone number three and across the finish line. While our judges are deliberating over our last battle, a big shout out to our Let It Ride sponsors, Drift HQ, TireStacks.com, Freedom Motorsports, East Coast Drift School, and South Bay Fuel Injectors. And it looks like our judges did come to a verdict. Barack Azar gets the win. Barack gets the win. Taking out the SR20 god himself. Our next battle up on the line, Chris Meyer, our 7th place qualifier, piloting that black E46, going up against Dave Leonetti. Chris Meyer holding on to that $25 Let It Ride token, thanks to our boys down at Drift HQ. Chris Meyer looking to double that $25 thanks to Drift HQ. Trying to turn it into $50 going into the top 16, trying to pilot that black E46 to a victory. But Dave Leonetti in the chase trying to steal it away from him. Both drivers initiate. Chris getting deep in outside zone number one as Leonetti trying to put the pressure on. Both drivers transition to outside zone number two. And Leonetti with a major correction as Chris Meyer on the wide line. He's going outside zone, hands all the way in that inner clip as Leonetti leading up behind him. As Chris Myers putting tail legs where they need to be and across the finish line. Makes some noise for both drivers that cross back over that Raceway Park tower. We'll get them spin back around. Chris Meyer to take that chase position. Dave Leonetti to lead. Our drivers are back up on the line. Chris Meyer throwing down a hell of a lead run, sitting on that $25 Let It Ride token, thanks to my boys down at Drift HQ. Dave Leonetti now sitting in that lead position in that red S14. He's gonna try to steal that Let It Ride Drift HQ token from him right now as the second half of the battle. Green lights illuminate, shoots out from under the Raceway Park tower. And Dave Leonetti initiates. Chris Meyer puts the pressure on. Keeping his composure, showing a little patience as Leonetti figures out going into outside zone number two. Chris, a little bit of bobble. Outside line. Proximity on. Fighting at the back. Dave Leonetti's S14. Both drivers initiating that last outside zone. Chris Meyer showing a ton of car control as they exit over the finish line. And Chris Meyer gets the win. Chris Meyer will get the win, doubling that Drift HQ Let It Ride token, the $50, taking that into the top 16. Our next battle up on the line, our third place qualifier from yesterday, Nate Richards in that green S14. What's up, fellas? Yeah, that's a green car. Going up against the wild man himself, Brian Wadman, piloting that Pro Spec Liqui Moly S14. All right, we got our drivers sitting on the line underneath that Raceway Park tower, waiting for our new Pro tree to illuminate. Amber's on, green on. That green car has the green light. Nate Richards in the lead position, going up against Brian Wadman in the chase. Both drivers initiate. Nate just clicking it outside over the wall. Wadman transition, almost passing Nate Richards, breaking the angle on a spin for Brian Wadman. Aggressive on the outside zone. Nate Richards builds outside zone number 2. Keep his composure to the outside zone number 3 and across the finish line. Woo. I almost ran out of breath. I thought Wadman was almost about to kill him, man. Brian Wadman chasing deep through outside zone number 1, almost filling that zone better than Richards and getting super aggressive in the outside zone number 2. Maybe biting off a little more than he could chew. Both drivers going to swap around. Switch positions, Brian Wadman taking that lead. Nate Richards in the green car taking a chase. And Brian Wadman sitting in that lead position in that blue S14. As you can see next to it, that green S14. Big comparison there. You can obviously see that green car is definitely not blue next to that blue car of Brian Wadman. But anyway, Nate Richards' green car in the chase position. Let me know in the chat if Nate Richards drives a blue or a green car. And here we go, Brian Wadman taking that lead. Nate Richards the chase. Brian doesn't initiate, Nate Richards initiates anyway. Brian Wadman exiting stage left. Nate Richards shutting it down for safety. Wadman burning off some tires for the fans in the stands. You hate to see it. And Nate Richards takes the win. Nate Richards moves into the top 16. It's a good green car. Oh, sounds like he's got the throttle stuck in there, hammering it down, trying to keep up with that wild machine of Brian Wadman. We'll get him towed up and the track cleaned up as soon as possible. Our next driver sitting on the line, Chris Stevens, piloting that red coupe. Holding on to that $25 thanks to Freedom Motorsports, looking to turn it into $50. Taking a win here, going up against Colin Bailey from MyWireShop.com, piloting that yellow 350Z. Heard Colin in the pits walking, strutting around, saying he's here to take people's money. Chris Stevens holding on to $25 thanks to Freedom Motorsports with a Let It Ride token. I just got a text message from Mike Wallace. Unfortunately for Mike Wallace and his S14, the engine unable to continue competing today. So Mike Wallace throwing in the towel for today's Gambler event. An unfortunate turn of events for Mike. And here we go, jumping into it, Chris Stevens taking that lead position. Going up against Colin Bailey. Both drivers initiate a quarter panel trying to exit Chris Stevens' car. As Colin doing what he can to follow. Colin 250D following a position as both drivers work away in that last outside zone. Colin, an aggressive move in that last outside zone. Chris Stevens and Colin over the finish line here at Raceway Park, the Gambler. Chris Stevens hanging on to that $25 Let It Ride token thanks to Freedom Motorsports. Yeah, that's your money, Tony, on the line. Give it up for the marathon runner, Sarah. Your dad's still watching. No whammies, no whammies, stop. Chris Stevens sitting with money to lose thanks to Freedom Motorsports on the chase position. Colin Bailey in the lead in that yellow 350Z. Stage lights on, amber's on, green light illuminated. Second half of this battle's underway. Blasting out from that Raceway Park tower. Bailey initiates that 350Z. Stevens trying to get deep and follow Colin through that outside zone number one. As Stevens transitions back to the doors, Collins a little bit of a pause. Both drivers starting to work. Still trying to shut that quarter panel off. Trying to put the pressure on the side of the 350Z as they work away in the last outside zone. Colin working his way deep as Stevens biting to the side of that 350Z. Makes some noise for him. They back under the tower. Raceway Park, the Gambler. And Chris Stevens takes the win. Chris Stevens gets the win, doubling that $25 token to $50 thanks to Freedom Motorsports. Up next, Strip It Steve Misko, sitting in that lead position, hanging on to that South Bay Fuel Injectors $25 Let It Ride token, looking to double his money. But first, he's got to go through Jonathan Da Silva in that black S13 coupe. And the green lights illuminate first half of the battle underway. See if we can get a clean start out of chicane. Steve doesn't mess anything up, and here we go. Steve in that lead position. John to chase. Both drivers initiate. Steve just looking at it. John changes his trajectory out to the outside line. And Misko leads on the Silva putting the pressure back on. And Misko's S14. And across the line, make some noise for him. Losing my voice over this. Trying to scream over that V8. I need our top 16 drivers to report to the grid immediately. Top 16 competing drivers, report to the grid. Woo, I'm catching my breath real quick. I'm all excited. Steve Misko putting down a hell of a lead lap, giving all the real estate for De Silva to put it on. Steve Misko now in that chase position, piloting that Pro Spec S14. Jonathan De Silva in that black S13, sitting in that lead. Misko sitting on that $25 thanks to South Bay Fuel Injectors, looking to double his money with a win here, while Jonathan De Silva looking to steal it, taking it into the top 16. With about half of our last man standing pool gone, there's still $1,600 in extra money on the line, as well as the first, second, and third place finishing of $4,000, $2,000, and $1,000 awarded to our winners here today at the Gambler. For you guys following our bracket at home, Mike Wallace, unfortunately taking an engine failure, has to call his time here at the Gambler. I'll get back to that right now as Jonathan De Silva taking that lead position. Steve Misko to chase. Both drivers initiate. Jonathan avoiding outside zone number 1 as Misko corrects for the lack of real estate. Curls it back in outside zone number 2. Keep the pressure on. Bolt driver goes through the last final zone. And Jonathan De Silva looks like he threw it in the second, trying to bark back at Steve Misko. Usually Misko's the misshifting. And Steve Misko gets the win. Steve Misko gets the win. As I was saying, with Mike Wallace having an engine failure, unfortunately unable to continue battling today, Gorka Arrieta will get that win and walk into the top 16. We're going to jump right into our top 16 battles. We're going to have our first top 16 battle on the grid. We're going to get them lined up and the track cleaned up as soon as possible to avoid this rain. Dimitri Bruschi going up against Alan Boss. Steve Misko. While we gather our drivers, this might be a good time. Take a bathroom break, grab some snacks at home, pop some popcorn. If you're here joining us at Raceway Park, take care of the luxury of the luxurious bathrooms here, showers, or the snack stand or grease truck. Grab some snacks, grab a drink, grab a beer, hang out. We'll get right back to the action momentarily. At this time, any of our top 16 drivers that are not already at the grid, you're late, bud. Hurry up, get over there, let's go. All right, if you're tuning in bad at home, welcome back to Raceway Park, home of the Gambler. We're going into our top 16 battles here with our first top 16 battle with Dimitri Bruschi with our first place qualifier. Going up against Alan Boss, piloting that crazy carbon fiber 350Z, and the green light's already on, jumping right back into it. Here we go, Dimitri Bruschi taking that lead, and then Michael Esteville at E46. Getting chased down by Alan Boss. Number one. Alan Boss jumps right down to the door. A real Bruschi staying in there. Jumping back to the side of Dimitri Bruschi. Alan Boss woke up this morning, chose violence, said no, not today, Mr. Number One qualifier. Alan getting super aggressive. Almost said super. Yeah, that was. Whew. I don't know what was going to happen, to be honest. I thought everyone was going to die. It was either going to be really cool.
Roller coaster rolling.
Yeah, I'm all jazzed up now. That's a hell of a way to kick it off. All right, second half of the first battle here in the top 16 at the Gambler Raceway Park. That battle was almost like a premium sausage, the way sausage should be. Alan Boss in that carbon fiber 350Z sitting in that lead position, going up against that #1 qualifier, Dmitry Bruski, in that Michael Essa built E46. It looks like our track's back set up from the chaos that just went down. Alan Boss sitting in the chicane. Waiting for stage lights to illuminate. Stage lights on, amber's on, green on. Alan Boss leaving the chicane. Clean start, Dmitry Bruski to chase. Boss initiates. Bruski a little bit of a gap as Boss comes flying out of outside zone 1 with a lot of angle. Giving the time for Bruski to come back up. Right there to the side. Giving the room a little bit of a bite, but cleans it back up to Dmitry Bruski, showcasing why he's the #1 qualifier here at Raceway Park, the Gambler. Alan Boss definitely giving him a clean lap to bite back on. We're gonna have to go to the judges. And a good showing here from Alan Boss, but Dmitry Bruski will get the win. Dmitry moves into the top 8. Our next battle up on the line, Mike Vogt piloting that Corvette, going up against Zach Mangle in that IS 300. I'd like to thank you guys for joining us live on YouTube and Facebook. Welcome to Raceway Park, where our snacks are better than yours at home. And here we go, Mike Vogt taking that lead position. Mangle to chase. Vogt getting into outside zone #1 as Mangle starting to clean up that proximity as they transition to outside zone #2. Mangle's IS 300 falling a little behind that corner. Driving through outside zone #2, but Mangle's still there. As Vogt dives out through the air clip, transition out that danger zone. As Mangle still in the game, but really not a threat to the side of Mike Vogt's Corvette. Zach Mangle taking that lead position, piloting that Toyota-inspired IS 300 livery. Going up against Mike Vogt and the silver Corvette in that chase. Stage lights on, amber's illuminated, and green means go. Zach Mangle taking that lead position, wiggling out of the chicane. We got a clean start. Vogt to chase. Vogt putting the pressure on early as they initiate. Mangle getting out to outside zone #1 as Mike Vogt right there in transition, right to the back bumper of the IS, maybe a little too close as Mike Vogt makes a spin, and Zach Mangle finishing on outside zone #2. Got to keep his composure. Vogt shows him some track etiquette as he watches Mangle drive away with the rest of his lap. We'll have to go to the judges. Zach Mangle gets the win. Zach Mangle holding the angle gets the win. Our next top 16 battle, Brian Hopp sitting on $50 thanks to our boys over at TireStacks.com, going up against Doug Santana. B-Hop with that plenum spacer and that VQ going up against Doug Santana. Pretty sure it's V8 powered. It's a third place battle rematch from the last Gambler. So there's bragging rights on the line, as well as a couple $1,000 last man standing, a couple $1,000 from the event, a couple $100 from Let It Ride. These guys are out here winning money. Brian Hopp in the lead position in that black S13, VQ powered with a plenum spacer, up against Doug Santana and that blue E46. As Brian Hopp gets out to the zone, Santana maybe bit off a little more than you can chew off there. He gets back in the position and outside show number 2. Brian Hopp showing that he can put it there. Keep that VQ in the zones. And Doug Santana, another aggressive transition, park it back at the side of Brian Hopp's S13. And our drivers are spun back around underneath the tower. Brian Hopp in that now chase position, sitting there in that VQ-powered S13, going up against Doug Santana, V8-powered E46 BMW. Doug now sitting in the chicane for his lead underneath that Raceway Park tower, waiting for that new Pro Tree to illuminate. Stage lights are on. Amber's on. Green means go. Let's go, Doug Santana in that lead position. Brian Hopp trying to chase him down. Doug initiates. That VQ screaming, trying to keep up with the torque out of the hole. As Brian Hopp goes to pass Doug Santana and transitions right back to the door. Jumps back, and Doug Santana shuts it down. Brian Hopp says, excuse me, I have stuff to do today. Brian Hopp, I'm pretty sure that defines as a hop quake. Brian Hopp comes out of the initiation, hop quakes Doug Santana out of the way. The judges are reviewing the instant replay footage, thanks to the G over there helping out with our live stream, giving you guys a chance at home to see all the action happening here at Raceway Park. You guys can come join us live where our snacks are better than yours over at the snack bar and the grease truck. Oh, and there's also a bar here thanks to Tony. If you come find Tony from Freedom Motorsports, he has free beer for everybody. I'm kidding, it's not free, it's damn close. If you guys are thirsty, I am pretty sure our snack bar has refreshments available, as well as hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken fingers, as well as the grease truck has a varying amount of food. Very delicious. As we're waiting for our judges to deliberate and ascertain fault to see what the hell was going on with that last battle, as Brian Hopp came out and Hopp quaked the world, shaking up Doug Santana, avoiding contact. Both drivers are okay, back onto the tower, just waiting for the judges' decision. And the judges have a decision, doubling his $50 to $100 thanks to TireStacks.com. Brian Hopp gets the win. Brian Hopp takes the win, a hop quake over Doug Santana. Both these guys drove hard. It's just gonna get more heated as we move on from here, as Brian Hopp walks away with $100 thanks to that Let It Ride token and TireStacks.com, moving into that top 8 position. Bringing up our next battle up on the line, Norway Nils sitting on that $25 thanks to East Coast Drift School, going up against Turbo Mike. All right, our driver's stage lights are illuminated. Waiting for Turbo Mike to take that lead position in that blue S14 shootout from the Raceway Park Tower here at the Gambler. Norway Nils in that Dodge Ram, looking to chase him down. Turbo Mike just on the outside of outside zone number 1. Norway Nils jumps in on outside zone number 2. Starting to put the pressure on. Bonking at the front axle. Turbo Mike's wide right through outside zone number 2. But Nils on the proximity game. As both cars transition, Nils jumps back to the side of Turbo Mike, keeping that Dodge Ram out of the side. We'll get our driver swap back around on the other side of the Raceway Park Tower. Norway Nils and that Dodge Ram going to take that lead position in the chicane. Turbo Mike and that blue S14 taking the chase. There's already a couple $100 on the board thanks to our Let It Ride tokens. These guys are out here doubling money with each win, each bracket win. We also have the last man standing pool going on with $1,600 winner takes all, as well as that $4,000 first place prize and that second place prize of $2,000, and third place walking away with a cool $1,000. We'll get the second half of this battle underway as Norway Nils sitting in that lead position in that green Dodge Ram going up against Turbo Mike in that blue S14. And here we go, Norway Nils taking that lead position. Turbo Mike falling behind a little bit on the initiation. Turbo Mike trying to clean up the gap now. Making some line adjustments, trying to break the door. The Norway Nils Dodge Ram truck. Goes back into that front end trip with Turbo Mike. Trying to clean up proximity now as both cars rotate deep. A little contact from Mike and Norway Nils over the finish line. You know what's weird? I told Turbo Mike to stop being so nice and letting drivers take away, giving them room, and I think Mike took it to heart. Raphael, aren't you supposed to be here, bud? Yeah, where are you? Yeah. Are you asking if you're late? Yeah, Raphael, you're late, bud. All right, we'll get our drivers back on the line. Bring up our next battle. Waiting on a judge's decision here. Tyler Foley in that lead position, piloting that orange E36, sitting in the chicane underneath that Raceway Park Tower. And to his side, on the other side of that pro tree, is Nate Chen, piloting that committed service brand FRS. Still waiting on our judge's verdict. Norway Nils sitting on that $25 Let It Ride token thanks to East Coast Drift School, looking to make that a $50 token going into the top 8. Turbo Mike trying to steal his money. And no one's stealing anybody's money as those drivers are going to go one more time. Norway Nils and Turbo Mike are going to hit battle one more time here at the Gambler. Tyler Foley, our second place qualifier yesterday here. Raceway Park, the Gambler, going up against our 15th qualifier, Nate Chen, piloting that crazy supercharged V8 FRS built here, committed service brand. And the green light's on, see if we can get a clean start. Tyler Foley in that orange E36 in that lead position. Nate Chen in the blue FRS to chase. Both drivers initiate. Foley getting out to the zone, and Nate Chen transition in, chases the race. Here we go, Nate Chen. Right up the front. Tyler Foley. I don't know if he scooped up Tyler Foley, understeering, pushing the car out of Nate Chen's way, being a gentleman, getting it out of the track, trying to save himself from danger, pushing himself all the way over there, knocking over the media guy's book bag. What a guy. What a dude. No, it's just a book bag. Make some noise for Tyler Foley, driving his heart out throughout practice today. Qualifying second, coming out of the car. Looks like he appears to be okay. Definitely bummed. Was on a tear this weekend. It looks like Tyler Foley just tagging that outside zone number 2's wall coming in and just upsetting the car, trying to steer out of it, and just had nowhere left to go. While we get the Carnage left from Tyler Foley cleaned up on the track here at Raceway Park, a big shout out to our Let It Ride sponsors and partners that help make the Gambler happen. Hotels Unlimited, Drift HQ, TireStacks.com, Freedom Motorsports, East Coast Drift School, and South Bay Fuel Injectors.
Oven openers, you lid lifters. You know who you are. Forever tempted by super flavorful Premio sausage. Sausage is made with a skillfully crafted blend of meat, seasoning, and spice. Those with good taste know it tastes great. Authentic. Real. And they know not to wait too long. Premio sausage, blended to perfection.
The way sausage should be. Tyler Foley getting forked up, getting him cleaned up and out of here, getting him out of the Raceway Park, the Gambler Bowl here. If you guys are at home, thank you guys for tuning in live, both on Facebook and YouTube. We'll get back to the action here in the top 16 as soon as possible. Tyler Foley's car is now in the air, officially forked. So you guys tuning in at home, I have a sneak peek, a little tidbit from the guys here at Raceway Park. The next round of the Gambler may or may not, definitely will be on the road course here at Englishtown. Raceway Park, the next Gambler, is officially on the road course for the next round of the Gambler. Yeah, you know what that means, boys. Pucker up or shut up. Regular layout. Give it up for Tyler Foley. Getting forked off here. Look at that man walking like on a Zamboni. Wave to everybody, Tyler. Oh, he's not happy. I'm sorry, Tyler. We love you, bud. We'll just assume he can't hear me. Makes me feel better about it. Seb. Seb's got a premium sausage. All right, I'm hearing over the radio that Tyler Foley, unable to complete repairs to get back out for competition, giving the win to Nate Chen. Nate Chen walking into the top 8. Nate Chen with that committed service brand FRS going into the top 8. A hard break for Tyler Foley, our second place qualifier, drove like a madman throughout practice and qualifying yesterday. Definitely not the way we wanted to see him go out. We're gonna get Nate Chen spun around back under the tower here. And a lap record from Nate Chen. We're gonna get the next drivers up back on the line, Barack and Chris Meyer. Chris Meyer sitting on a $50 Let It Ride token thanks to Drift HQ. Big shout out to those boys down in Florida from Drift HQ, traveling around the country, doing a whole bunch of cool stuff. There you got it, $50 on the line with Chris. That is up for grabs to get stolen from Barack, who then would reset its value down to $25. Chris Meyer, with a win here, will double that $50 Let It Ride token to $100, taking that into the top 8. LZ didn't go yet. So Tyler Foley's crew just, Sarah sprinted all the way over here and filled us in that they will be attempting to complete repairs during a 5-minute timeout. Tyler Foley will be attempting to make repairs during a competition timeout. That means Nate Chen and Tyler Foley's battle is still on the bracket. All right, bear with me. One more time battle between Turbo Mike with a blue S14 and Norway Nils with a green Dodge Ram. Jumping right into it. Close blaze pass outside zone number 1, and Norway Nils jumps right to the side of Turbo Mike. A little savvy on the front end of the axle. Falls into position now. Turbo Mike gets wide outside zone number 2. Throws it back into that further clip. Norway Nils given the time to transition. Tries to dump back Turbo Mike deep in outside zone number 3. Turbo Mike said, I don't need taillights. Let's try to scrape these off. And with a broken subframe after inspection, Tyler Foley is out of competition. Tyler Foley is out of competition, awarding Nate Chen with the win into the top 8. Nate Chen moves on to the top 8. Hey Marco, there's a tracker out there. All right, as you can see, we're getting our forking machine put back into position here. You know, you use those when the cars get real forked up. All right, second half of this one more time battle, Norway Nils in that lead position. Turbo Mike in the chase. Nils sitting on a $25 Let It Ride token thanks to East Coast Drift School, looking to double that money to take it into the top 8. Turbo Mike looking to steal that token from him. Stage lights are on, amber's on, green lights on, that means it's go time, baby, let's go. Norway Nils blazes out from under the tower. Turbo Mike not far behind him. Nils initiates deep and outside 1. Turbo Mike with the pressure on, cranks the angle for the transition as both drivers working way into outside zone number 2. Nils in position. Turbo Mike keep the car back and fight down the door of that Dodge Ram. Mike right there takes out that front clip and transitions right behind the Dodge Ram and right on it. Both drivers doing a great job through outside zone number 3. Both of those guys known for cranking in the angle. Nils in that Dodge Ram in the lead. Turbo Mike in that blue S14 in the chase. $25 Let It Ride token thanks to East Coast Drift School. If you want to learn how to come out here and do some drifting yourself, make sure you hit up East Coast Drift School. And we have a winner of close battle here, but Norway Nils in a green Dodge Ram will get the win, doubling that East Coast Drift School Let It Ride token, the $50, taking it into the top 8. Yeah, Chris, it's a lot of money, bud. Pay up or shut up. All right, back to the right side of the bracket with more Let It Ride money on the line. Chris Meyer sitting there with that black E46 in the lead position, sitting on $50 thanks to Drift HQ, going up against Barack in that gray E36 in the chase. Green lights on the shootout from the Raceway Park Tower here. Meyer initiates, Azar a little far behind him as Meyer fills outside zone number 1 as Azar tries to bite back going into outside zone number 2. Says, I'll take my lickings, but I'll try to clean up the run. Just on the wide line, all the way outside zone number 2. Throws it back in that front of the Chris, and Barak shuts it down. Chris Meyer keeping it out of the wall, nice and wide across the finish line. Chris Meyer looking to double that Drift HQ $50. Trying to take $100 into the top 8. Barak in that gray E36 shutting it down. Definitely not looking good in the judge's eye, working his way into the second half of this battle. As Chris Meyer will take the chase position in that black E46, and Barak in that gray E36 with the white over fenders will take the lead. Oh, look at that. There's a green car back there. All right, so Azar taking his competition 5 timeout, trying to fix whatever had an issue is. Chris Meyer is gonna have to take a seat, put him on ice as we're gonna bring up our next battle. That green car, Nate Richards, going up against Chris Stevens. Chris Stevens sitting on that $50 thanks to Freedom Motorsports, looking to make that $100 going into the top 8. Nate Richards looking to steal that kid's lunch money. Green light's on, Nate Richards. Green car right next to that green light, you can see it. Gonna take that lead position. Chris Stevens in the chase. Both cars initiate. Chris Stevens right there on the door already. Nate Richards clicks into outside zone 1, transitions to outside zone number 2. Chris Stevens starts putting the pressure back on. Markets in the corner. Right here. Up in the smoke. They transition out. Nate Richards doing a great job. Getting all the real estate for Chris Stevens and jump back. Nate Richards deep in outside zone 2. Both drivers doing a phenomenal job for this battle here. They're going to pull back under the tower. Get them swapped around. Nate Richards going to take that chase position. Chris Stevens the lead. Stevens sitting on $50 from Freedom Motorsports with that Let It Ride token. Nate Richards looking to take that money from him. Chris looking to double it. And Chris Stevens sitting in that lead position, sitting in the chicane underneath that Raceway Park Tower, where only a few weeks ago we had the actual Pro 1 and Pro Spec drivers from Formula Drift competing on that very same layout. Chris Stevens looking to take down Nate Richards in that green car. And stage lights are on, amber's on, green light means go. Chris Stevens in that lead position. Nate Richards the chase. Chris with that $50 from Freedom Motorsports Light Ride token. Nate Richards trying to steal it right from his window, right off the bat. Nate Richards right on the side and makes sure the pass corrects. Stays behind Chris Stevens. And Nate Richards right back, falls in the stroke line. Maybe give him a little bit of room for Chris, and right back on the door. Chris Stevens to the last outside zone. I'm done. Jesus Christ, I'm losing my voice. It's Nate Richards trying to steal that $50 from Freedom Motorsports Light Ride token directly out of the gate. Good luck, judges. I'm going to sit over here for a little while and just watch the instant replay. That is definitely one green car. And the judges have a decision, doubling his Freedom Motorsports Let It Ride token. Chris Stevens will get the win. Chris Stevens will go into the top 8 with $100 thanks to Freedom Motorsports. The second half of our battle, Azar getting a complete, finishing his run during his competition timeout. Chris Meyer sitting in that chase position. Azar in that gray E36 in the lead. And here we go. Azar versus Meyer. Azar gets in outside zone number 1. Is Chris Meyer trying to close that gap up, going into outside zone number 2. And Azar getting into the wall. Chris Meyer pulls away safe. Azar pulls it back from the last wall. Chris Meyer safety. Throws it right back in like a man. That's the shit I like. Make some noise for both drivers. Hand out the window. He's having a great time here at Raceway Park, the Gambler. And Chris Meyer, doubling his Drift HQ token to $100, takes the win. Chris Meyer moves on. Up next on the line, sitting on $50 thanks to South Bay Fuel Injectors, Strip It Steve Misko. Oh, I'm sorry, he has a new sponsorship. It's Super Spin Steve Misko. Sponsored by Maytag. Going up against Gorka Arrieta. Gorka Arrieta is piloting that Volvo-powered SC300. if I'm not mistaken. And here we go, jumping right back into it. Steve Misko taking that lead position. Arrieta to chase. Gorka trying to put the position back in as Steve Misko fills outside zone number 1. Gorka jumps back to the side door. Steve Misko deep in outside zone number 2. Misko blazes away from that front end clip, going to the last outside zone. And Gorka making contact with the wall. Gorka Arrieta putting it into the danger zone, the last outside zone here at the Gambler. Looks like he's giving it a wiggle. The butt looks crunchy, but it looks like it rolls. Gorka Arrieta, winner's walk home, bud. Yeah, that's right. Drive it out of there. Proud of you, dude. We're waiting on word from our driver, get our track cleaned back up, situated, safe for our drivers here competing. We will see what Gorka Arrieta will want to do, continuing, make sure his car is still suited for competition. Steve Misko getting a break here, driving Arrieta almost in the wall, pouring the smoke out of that FD car. Both drivers seem to be okay. We'll get them spun back around. Looks like Gorka is heading towards his pit area. While we're looking to see what's going on, and it looks like Arrieta is putting hands on the vehicle, so their competition 5 is going to start, regardless if they choose to use it or not. We're going to pull up our next drivers, getting into the top 8 here. All top 8 drivers report to grid. All top 8 competing drivers report to grid. We're gonna get our next top 8 battle up on the line. Dimitri Buski going up against Zach Mangle. Dimitri Buski piloting that Michael Essa E46 going up against Zach Mangle's IS300. And I got word over the radio that Gorka Arrieta unable to complete the repairs to his vehicle to get it back out for competition, giving the win to Steve Misko, moving on to the top 8, doubling that Let It Ride South Bay Fuel Injectors token to $100. we go. Dimitri Buski leading. Zach Mangle. Zach Mangle with a major correction on the initiation. Dives back to clean it up to outside zone number 2. As Dimitri Buski starts putting the power down. Mangle trying to close it up to an inside gap. That line choice may have bit him in the ass as he comes through the last outside zone. As Dimitri Buski, nice and wide all the way through. All right, second half of the battle, stage lights on, amber's illuminated, green on, Zach Mangle in that IS-300, taking that lead position. Dimitri Buski, our number 1 qualifier from yesterday, taking that chase. Giving Zach a little room, and he fills that outside zone. Now Dimitri has to close that gap up and going into outside zone number 2. A little patience from Dimitri as he falls into position. Zach Dimitri Buski right there, trying to sell us some stuff. Hey man, here. I have something for you. Zach Mangle in the IS-300 doing a great job in the lead. Dimitri Buski in the chase. And Dimitri Buski will get the win. Dimitri Buski will get the win. Taking out Zach Mangle in the top 8. Dimitri Buski will work his way into the final 4. Here we go, jumping right back into it. Brian Hobb leading Norway Nils, jumping into outside zone number 1. Both drivers doing a great job as they transition. And Norway Nils dives to the front axle. Brian Hobb's EQ powered F13. Even the back to the outside zone number 2. Both drivers doing a great job. Nils showing some patience, giving room the transition, jumps and dives back to the door. Brian Hobb to the last and final zone. All right, we got our drivers spun back around underneath that Raceway Park tower. You can see we put the drag tree back just to piss the guys off on Facebook. Brian Hobb in the chase position with that VQ-powered S13 with a plenum spacer going up. Going up against Norway Nils. Both these guys holding on to Let It Ride tokens. Brian Hobb already sitting on $100 thanks to TireStacks.com. Norway Nils sitting on $50 thanks to East Coast Drift School. These guys are looking to double that money going into the next round and steal their opponent's money going into the final 4. Amber's on, green light illuminated. Here we go. Chase is a race. Clean start, Norway Nils in the front. B-Hop trying to hop quake Norway Nils into a loss. Nils going in outside zone number 1. Hop trying to jump back to the door. Getting just as aggressive. Norman Nils getting super deep. Almost driving. Dion into the wall. Keeping their composure, working their way to the outside. Right out, right back to the door of that Dodge Ram of Norway Nils. Hop quaking. Right back in it. Make some noise for Norway Nils and Brian Hop as they just kissed lights on the exit. Brian Hop sitting on $100, trying to turn it into $200 and stealing that East Coast Drift School token, taking a $225 token total into the Let It Ride Final Four. And Nils trying to double his $50 into $100 and walking away at $125 of total tokens into the Final Four. We're waiting on the judges deliberating, they're watching, and they're just playing with me, running the lights. I got scared for a second. I thought we were about to send more dudes. Like, we're not ready, he wasn't ready. And we're jumping right into the battle. Chris Meyer taking a lead position, going up against Nate Chen. Chris Meyer taking out the outside top corner. Nate Chen doing a great job behind Chris Meyer. Chris Meyer giving the real estate for Nate Chen. Supercharged VA power. And Chris Meyer taking the outside zone number 3, almost making Nate Chen scared to follow him in. All right, so everybody wondering what happened to Brian Hop and Norway Nils. They're going one more time. Everybody's keeping their money, and they're going to go into a one more time battle. The judges are keeping their secrets. A little suspense never killed anybody. All right, we got our driver swung back around underneath that Raceway Park Tower. Nate Chen in that supercharged, the VA-powered FRS sitting in that lead chicane. Sitting next to him, Chris Meyer, that VA-powered E46 BMW. And the green light's on. Nate Chen taking that lead position. Blazing out of the tower. Nate Chen throwing the power down. Chris Meyer still right there. So they walk back out. So you can't get away from me that easy, bud. Jump back to the door. Chris Meyer. Keeping it out of the wall, driving through the grass, a little bit of lawn mowing. Chris Meyer came out, said not so fast, and Nate Chen said a little more fast. And Chris Meyer, who was sitting on a $100 token thanks to Drift HQ, just lost that Let It Ride token to Nate Chen, moving into the Final Four. Nate Chen now awarded $25 thanks to Drift HQ for that Let It Ride token, where he can bring that into the finals and lock in its monetary value. Thank you guys for tuning in live, both on Facebook and YouTube, even though you Facebook guys are real upset about this drag strip. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in with us today. Grab some snacks, take a quick bathroom break as we gather up our one more time battle between Brian Hopp and Norway Nils as we move into our final four. We also have one more battle between Chris Stevens and Steve Misko. So I just did a little bit of clearing of the chart here for our last man standing pool, which has $1,600, winner takes all. Our last man standing pool of $1,600, winner takes all, has 4 surviving members right now: Dimitri Bruschi, Brian Hopp, Norway Nils, and Nate Chen, all the last men standing, trying to take home $1,600. That's extra. That doesn't include the winnings from the first, second, and third place winnings, as well as your winnings and gambling amounts from the Let It Ride tokens. Oh, look, Matt Misko's watching. Big shout to those Arietta boys hustling all weekend, taking care of 3 cars out for battle today. Big shout to those Arietta boys. While we got a little bit of downtime, it seems like a really good shameless plug time for Drift HQ, TireStacks.com, Freedom Motorsports, East Coast Drift School, and South Bay Fuel Injectors. Make sure you guys show some love for them on their social media. Send them nudes, do whatever. Just make sure they know that we sent you over there. Silly face was better. Hey, Z the man, the drag strip is dead, dog. Let it go. It's been like a couple years. Oscar, we're moving into our final four. We got Dimitri Bruschi waiting on a battle between Brian Hopp and Norway Nils. And on the other side of the bracket, we have Nathaniel Chen waiting on a battle between Chris Stevens and Steve Misko. And here we go, the one more time battle between Brian Hopp and Norway Nils. Brian Hopp in that lead with that plenum chaser screaming into outside zone number 1 as Norway Nils bites in transition, gives the room, and an aggressive move into outside zone number 2 as Norway Nils with that truck, that Dodge Ram on the side. Brian Hopp. Brian Hopp holding his composure to the inside clip. Norway Nils, a little jump back to give him the room to rotate, and right back to the door handle. Here, bud, I have stuff for you. A great run from both drivers. Brian Hopp giving a fantastic lead run for the Dodge Ram of Norway Nils to close in. We'll get our drivers spun back around, swap position back underneath the Raceway Park Tower, where you can see our new repurposed drag strip. Pro Tree is now up and illuminated for our drifters to use here in the new Drift Coliseum. Ryan Hopp sitting in that chase position with a black S13 going up. Norway Nils in the lead. Waiting for our stage lights to illuminate. You know, this is the stressful part of drag racing where before it all goes down, the pro trees illuminate, green's on, here we go. Second half of this one more time battle between Norway Nils and his crazy Dodge Ram truck up against Brian Hopp, the Hopquake. Initiated to Amber Zone 1. Both drivers making it alive. Brian Hopp trying to transition, maybe a little stabby into outside zone number 2 as Norway Nils goes into the wall. Brian Hopp stays to the door of the truck. Both drivers getting close and personal as they transition to last danger zone, outside zone. Both drivers doing a fantastic job. Make some noise, Norway Nils and Hopquake Brian Hopp. And Chris Forsberg gets the win. I just got word that the next round of Gambler registration tickets are now live for the road course event next round. Do not want to miss the next Gambler event, August 14th and 15th. Get online to Raceway Park website, get your tickets now, get your chance to compete at the Gambler on the road course. You know, like seriously, I'm excited for that one. Can I announce end drive? Yeah, I'll do it at the same time. Can I do that? Yeah. It's 2 weeks? 3 weeks. 3 weeks. All right. All right. It's got a truck motor in it. It's stupid. It's still stupid. We're waiting on our judges deliberating to come up with a verdict. And they're going to send them one more time. Our boys are going to hold on to their money for another battle and go one more time, one more time. Brian Hopp sitting on $100 thanks to TireStacks.com. Going up against Norway Nils sitting on $50 thanks to East Coast Drift School. Both having to go one more time again. See? This is how it should be. They're just ready to rock right now. They're back on the line already. Brian Hopp back in the lead position. Norway Nils in the chase. They said, I'm good. I got stuff to do later. Let's go. Brian Hopp taking that lead position. Norway Nils in the truck to chase. Both cars in this right. Norway Nils right there on the side. A little bit of a bobble from Nils, and they're working away to outside zone number 2. Brian Hopp holding his composure, taking that wide line through 2. And Nils trying to get back to the side of that BB Tower at S13. Nils doing a lot of clutching, trying to dive and get back to the side as Brian Hopp putting on a routine. Norway Nils looking not as comfortable behind Brian Hopp this second time around. Let's see how he feels in the lead position when they go back onto the Raceway Park Tower. Swap spots, Brian Hopp now having the chase. Norway Nils in the lead position. Our drivers are back underneath the Raceway Park Tower. Swapped positions. Brian Hopp in the chase position. Norway Nils sitting there in that Dodge Ram in the lead. Stage lights are illuminated. Amber's on, green light, go. Norway Nils trying to double that $50 East Coast Drift School dump. Let it ride token to $100 while Brian Hopp trying to steal it from him and double his money at the same time. Brian Hopp putting the pressure on, walking the outside zone number 2. Brian Hopp holds down with him. Goes back in the outside zone number 2. Both drivers working away to the inside clip. Brian Hopp transitions behind Dodge Ram of Norway Nils, and both drivers crossing over the finish line. Make some noise for him as they're trying to battle their way in to the Final Four. All right, for you guys tuning in at home and wondering why there's just replays blowing your mind every couple seconds, we're waiting on the Misko team to finish up with their competition 5 timeout. Steve Misko is right behind us, behind the judges tower in the pitch, trying to fix his vehicle and get it ready for the battle here. And we do have a verdict from the Brian Hopp and Norway Nils battle. Brian Hopp gets the win. Brian Hopp moves into the Final Four, doubling his TireStacks.com money to $200 and stealing that East Coast Drift School token at a $25, walking away with $225 going into the Final Four thanks to his Let It Ride tokens. And another man falls out of the last man standing pool, still holding strong at $1,600. Looking into the Final Four on the left side of the bracket, we have Dmitry Druski, our #1 qualifier from yesterday, going up against the VQ hero, Brian Hopp, taking that Plenum Spacer all the way into the Final Four, also taking away $200 in TireStacks.com Let It Ride tokens, as well as stealing a $25 East Coast Drift School token from Norway Nils last battle. On the other side of the bracket, we have Nate Chen holding on to a $25 Let It Ride token thanks to Drift HQ, waiting for his opponent. Waiting on Steve Misko to finish up his competition time, holding on to $100 thanks to South Bay Fuel Injectors, looking to double that into $200 and steal the Freedom Motorsports Let It Ride token from Chris Stevens, who's holding $100 thanks to that guys over the Freedom Motorsports, and he's looking to double his money and steal Steve Misko's money. With everything, I think Steve's putting pins in. Steve, are you good? Steve's good? Steve's good. Steve made it. All right, we're gonna get Chris Stevens up on the line, going up against Steve Misko. As I ramble through and said very poorly before, Chris Stevens holding on to that $100 Let It Ride Freedom Motorsports token. Steve Misko holding on to that $100 thanks to South Bay Fuel Injectors. Both these guys looking to double the money and steal it from the components going into the Final Four, where they'll be up against Nate Chen and that V8 supercharged FRS built by Committed Service Brand. Nate Chen holding on to $25 token thanks to Drift HQ. And officially, Strip It Steve is on his way to the grid. Like to thank you guys for your patience today. We've been rushing all day, making schedule changes, trying to avoid the rain that was allotted for this evening. We're doing so good so far. Now I jinxed it. So we got Chris Stevens on the line, sitting there with $100 thanks to Freedom Motorsports. Waiting back in that bark box is Steve Misko. Oh, he just pulled up to the line. Steve Misko up on the line, sitting on $100 thanks to South Bay Fuel Injectors. Both these guys looking to steal each other's lunch money. Stevens taking out Nate Richards in his last battle, a close one. Nate Richards making a few mistakes, getting Chris a win. Now going up against that prospect build car of Steve Misko. Steve taking that lead, Chris to chase. Chris right to the side of Steve Misko, jumping in on outside zone number 1, full car transition outside zone number 2. Chris Stevens taking that 2-4 creep to the side of Steve Misko, also on a 255 tires. Chris Stevens trying to do his best to keep up with the VA powered car of Misko. And Stevens. Having fun with it, knowing he broke one of the only golden rules here at the Gambler. Don't spin over the finish line. Chris Stevens sitting on $100 thanks to Freedom Motorsports with Let It Ride tokens. Up for grabs now with that little mistake at the end there. Steve Misko sitting on $100 of Let It Ride tokens thanks to South Bay Fuel Injectors. Looking to take that Freedom Motorsports money. Stage lights are on. Chris Stevens in that lead position, sitting there with that red coupe. See if he can make it clean out of the chicane, and he does. We have a clean start. Steve Misko in that chase position. Chris Stevens initiates. Steve Misko right behind him. Misko a little bit e-big grab, trying to get this on a wide line. Chris Stevens through outside zone number 1 as they work in the outside zone number 2. Stevens deep in as Misko. Both drivers working away to the outside line. Misko back to the door. Chris Stevens. Chris. Steve a little bit of a surge. Both drivers make it over the finish line. And Steve Misko gets the win. Steve Misko gets the win, stealing that Let It Ride money from Chris Stevens, making that $25 from Freedom Motorsports transfer over to Steve Misko, who's now going to walk in with $225 thanks to South Bay Fuel Injectors and Freedom Motorsports. He's going to go up against Nate Chen, who's holding on to $25 thanks to Drift HQ. On the other side of the bracket, we got Dimitri Bruschi, our #1 qualifier, who's been walking his way down the bracket, going up against the hero, the VQ Plenum God, Brian Hopp, holding on to $200 of TireStacks.com money and $25 thanks to East Coast Drift School. So Dimitri Bruschi with his pro-level Michael Essa built E46 is going to go head-to-head with Brian Hopp, who's already on the grid, probably on the same tires he's been on all day, sitting there with that plenum spacer sitting out of the hood, waiting for Dmitry Buski to take his beating. At this time, all competing drivers, yeah, the 4 of you, we need you at the grid. Brian Hopp's waiting. All right, Dmitry Buski getting all the heat into those rear tires so he can keep up with Brian Hopp's VQ-powered S13. And the green light down, Dmitry Buski in that lead position going up against Brian Hopp. Brewski initiate, Hopp initiates. Brewski just getting it outside number 1. Hopp jumps through the smoke, dives to the side of Dmitry Brewski. P46. Dmitry Brewski finishes up his lap. Brian Hopp sitting on $200 thanks to TireStacks.com. And also $25 thanks to East Coast Drift School. Not looking good for that money doubling into the finals. Dmitry Brewski now sitting in the chase position. Brian Hopp with that plenum spacer sticking out of that hood and that VQ, sitting in that lead position, sitting in the chicane, needs to pull out a Hopquake here. Green means go. Brian Hopp in that lead. Dmitry Brewski's gonna have to adapt to that S13. Both drivers initiate. Brian Hopp deep in and Brewski's right there behind him. As Brian Hopp's deep in the outside zone number 1. Brewski back to the backside of that S13. Going in, trying to take manipulating the car through our course, and Dmitry Brewski right there, keeping the pressure on, right to the door handle, right where he needs to be across the finish line, with a thumbs out the window from Dmitry Brewski after the finish. And Dmitry Brewski gets the win, stealing the lunch money from Brian Hopp. Dmitry Brewski will walk in with $50 thanks to TireStacks.com and East Coast Drift School, locking that value of $50 of Let It Ride tokens into the final. We'll have to go to the other side of the bracket and see who our victor is between Nate Chen, sitting on $25 thanks to Drift HQ, and Steve Misko, who's sitting on a whopping $225 thanks to Freedom Motorsports and South Bay Fuel Injectors. Nate Chen and Dmitry Brewski, the only 2 men left standing. $1,600 on the line, winner take all. Has nothing to do with who actually wins this event. Ryan Hopp, if you're hanging out by, we're gonna need you for your third place battle up against the loser of this next battle. If you can hear me, don't pack it all away. Oh yeah, he gave me a thumbs up. See, somebody listens around here. He literally just hopped back in his car and turned around and gave me the finger on the way out. I don't know what more than drifting means than that man right there. All right, we're waiting for Nathaniel Chen and Steve Misko to head to the grid for their battle on the final four to see who's going to do final battle with Dimitri Bruschi here at Raceway Park, the Gambler. Once again, I would like each and every one of you to come and hang out here live in person here at Raceway Park. Thank you guys for coming out and hanging out in the heat. Stay hydrated. Snack bar is still open. Grease Junk is still here. Make sure you grab some snacks for our final battles here coming up right now, where we have Nate Chen coming into the lineup against Steve Misko. Also, a big shout out to our event sponsors that help makes everything happen here. Hotels Unlimited, Drift HQ, TireStacks.com, Freedom Motorsports, East Coast Drift School, and South Bay Fuel Injectors. As we get our drivers back up on the line, I'd also like to thank each and every one of you that tune into the live stream here, both on Facebook and YouTube, regardless if you want the drag strip back or not. All right, we get our other two final four drivers on the line. Steve Misko, who's sitting on $225 of Let It Ride tokens thanks to Freedom Motorsports and South Bay Fuel Injectors, sitting there with his Formula Drift Pro Spec car. Now lining up next to him in his Formula Drift Pro Spec car, prepared by Committed Service Brand, Nathaniel Chen in that V8 Supercharged FRS, sitting on $25 thanks to Drift HQ. And Steve Misko taking the baby way out, putting his chips in his pocket, taking that $225 from Freedom Motorsports and South Bay Fuel Injectors and securing it in his pocket now. He said, I ain't losing empty-handed here. He must not feel confident up against Nate Chen, as Nate Chen spitting up off as they exit, going into the initiation. Steve Misko initiating. Nate Chen with a little bit of a bobble. Please it back up, going to the outside zone the outside zone, going into danger. Both drivers right. Nate Chen with a little bit of a bobble going into the outside zone number one, cleans it back up and starting to put the pressure back on the Misko as they go and finish off their lap. Both drivers back underneath the Raceway Park Tower will get them spun around for the second half of this battle. Steve Misko putting the Let It Ride tokens in his pocket, which is completely legal, just no one does. What a weird move. See how it plays out for him, Cotton? Hey, just to make... Steve Misko putting those tokens in his pockets could put them on the table and lock in their values in the finals. Nate Chen now in the lead position in that supercharged V8 powered F4S, going up against that V8 powered S14 of Steve Misko. Nate Chen blazing out from Raceway Park Tower. Misko right back on the door on the side of Nate Chen's F4S. Full time working in transition to outside zone number 2. Steve Misko right there on the door side. Misko jumps through the smoke. Roll drivers deep in the outside zone number 3. Getting weird and wild across the finish line here at Raceway Park, the Gambler. Run, Stanley, run. And Steve Misko gets the win. Steve Misko pulls the win out. A close battle here from Nate Chen with that V8 supercharged powered F4S thanks to Committed Service Brand. Steve Misko moves into the finals. Still holding the original value, which was a weird move. You could have made $500, you dummy. Instead, Steve Misko holding on to that $225 from Freedom Motorsports and South Bay Fuel Injectors. If he chooses to play those tokens, those values will hold their value up against the battle. Dimitri Bruschi also holding $50 thanks to TireStacks.com and East Coast Drift School. Those values are now locked too. If both those drivers are both playing their tokens, all that money is up for grabs at their values they're set at to the winner of that battle. Never mind the fact, now with Nate Chen being knocked out of the battle, our last man standing and winner of that $1,600 winner takes all is Dimitri Bruschi. Dimitri Bruschi being the last man standing in a side bet pool, Dimitri Bruschi will walk away with $1,600 in cash. Maybe, unless I spend it before he gets it. While we're waiting for always a fashionably late Dimitri Bruschi, going up against Strip It Steve Misko. Nate Chen, please report to grid for your third place battle. Nate Chen, please report to grid for your third place battle. For you guys tuning in at home, we have one more final battle to find out the victor of our our Gambler event here at Raceway Park. There's plenty of Let It Ride tokens on the table. The last man standing pool has already been awarded, and we still have a third place battle here to take home that $1,000 grand prize. And Brian Hopp gets one more chance to take out a Pro Spec car with that Plenum Spacer. He said, don't you wish you put that $100 in that last man standing bet now? Oh, you probably should have played all your tokens too, you dummy. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Hey, Steve, are you keeping them indefinitely or putting them in for the final? You gonna bet those tokens for the final?
I'm gonna take that as
He's avoiding the question. At home, you guys can see the last battle taking place between Steve Misko and Nathaniel Chen with that supercharged FRS up against Steve Misko's VA-powered S14. Both these guys compete in Formula Drift Pro Spec. They're out here on 255 tires, competing it out with all our bros out here at Raceway Park. Don't forget, the next round of the Gambler isn't in this drift stadium here at Raceway Park. It's over on the road course. We're running front track, baby. Get signed up. Registration and tickets are live now on Raceway Park's website. Get over there now, lock your spot, lock your tickets in. It's gonna be a good one. You're not gonna wanna miss it. Brian Hopp locking himself into the grid in that lead position right before the chicane. We're waiting for our third place battle contestants to get up on the line. Brian Hopp already sitting on the line, taking a loss, losing a couple of tokens, putting himself into the third place battle bracket here, all going up against Nate Chen. Nate Chen with that supercharged VA-powered FRS prepared by Committed Service Brand. Obviously that Pro Spec car takes a little more maintenance than Brian Hopp's VQ-powered S13. Equally, no, it's definitely not equally powered. Maybe equally plenum spaced, but if you guys don't know who Brian Hopp is, make sure you find him on Instagram and DM him. Ask him about his plenum spacer. Slide in his DMs. Definitely slide in his DMs now. While you guys are just hanging out and waiting, big shout out to Drift HQ, TireStacks.com, Freedom Motorsports, East Coast Drift School, and South Bay Fuel Injectors. Thank you guys for throwing in some Let It Ride tokens to spice up our bracket here at Raceway Park, the Gambler. For you guys tuned in online and here at Raceway Park, the next Gambler is set over on the road course, and I'm super excited about it. I'll be back over there on the mic announcing all the action going down. I'll also be implementing a few more last man standing pots. I'm going to be using different values, probably around $20, because 20 bucks is 20 bucks. 50 bucks and $100, you get to sign up for one of them, and the winner of that last man standing of each pot will take home winner take all. I hope I explained that halfway decently. I probably butchered it, but you'll have to show up at the road course to see all the action going down. But there'll be plenty of avenues to make tons of money over at the road course here at the next Gambler at Raceway Park. Big shout out to Premio Sausage, the way sausage should be. We have our third place battle contestants on the line. Brian Hopp sitting with that VQ powered S13, sitting in the lead position, going up against that supercharged VA powered FRS of Nate Chen. Brian Hopp with just a plenum spacer on the hood. And then you can see Nate Chen with a supercharger sticking out of it. Let's see how the power difference works out. Brian Hopp in the lead position. Nate Chen the chase. Both drivers initiate. Nate Chen right to the door of the VQ. Brian Hop pulls out of the first row a little early. Nate Chen right back to the door. We're breaking in. Snapping at the side. Glass outside zone. Nate Chen still there on the door handle. Brian Hobbs has 13. We're going to get our drivers back across the line. Nate Chen will take the lead position. Brian Hopp in the chase. Brian Hopp trying to cause an hopquake over here. Like Nate Chen's supercharged V8 making a ton of noise over that VQ powered S13 of Brian Hopp. And here we go, Nate Chen taking that lead position. Brian Hopp to chase. Nate Chen blazing out of the Raceway Park Tower. Brian Hopp initiates. A little behind Nate Chen's apparatus. Brian Hopp trying to clean it up, and they go to the outside zone number 2. Nate Chen's getting pulled away from the VQ of Brian Hopp as they work away to that last outside zone. And the little VQ that just couldn't do enough today. And Nate Chen will get the win, taking a third place finish here. All right, with our third place battle out of the way, we go into our final battle here at Raceway Park, the Gambler. We have Dimitri Brewski, our first place qualifier, holding on to $50 thanks to TireStacks.com and East Coast Drift School, going up against Steve Misko, holding on to $250 thanks to Freedom Motorsports, South Bay Fuel Injectors, and Drift HQ. Waiting for our drivers to warm up their tires. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned pro spec battle here. Hey, a little higher, bud. Dimitri Brewski back there warming up his tires to go up against Steve Misko. Dimitri Brewski will take that lead position first, being the higher qualifying driver, taking that first place qualifying position from yesterday's qualifying and practice day. Steve Misko walking in with a ton of money. Do we know if he's playing that money this time around? Yeah, he's gonna be a little baby about it. Come on, Steve, throw that money up. All right, we got Dimitri Brewski locking his position into the chicane. Steve Misko is now back warming up his tires. All right, here we go. We got Steve Misko in that chase position, piloting that red S14, going up against Dimitri Brewski, that #1 qualifier, piloting that Michael Essa built E46 in the lead position. Brewski sitting on $50 of Let It Ride tokens, while Steve Misko, I'm assuming he's playing them, I don't know, with $250 of Let It Ride tokens. And here we go. The final battle here at Raceway Park, the Gambler, Dimitri Brewski, Steve Misko. Both drivers initiating outside zone number 1. Spin it, Steve, and Dimitri Brewski into the wall. Prospect. Whoa! Whoa! You'll get that on these big jobs. Well, there you go. There you have it. Your final drivers, your pro spec drivers out here, Steve Misko and Dimitri Brewski, causing chaos. Hey, Brian, B-Hop, how'd you hopquake the dudes from in the stands? How'd you hopquake those dudes from in the stands? Well, I guess we're going to throw them back under the tower. They're going to change positions and try again. We're getting with Dimitri to make sure that he doesn't want to make any repairs to his vehicle and use his competition 5 timeout. Steve Misko is still sitting on the line in that chicane waiting for Dimitri Brewski to return for the second half of their chaotic first half of their battle. All right, it looks like Dimitri Brewski is heading back to the line. He's going to take that chase position going up against Steve Misko in that lead. Let's see if these drivers can keep it on the course this time. Spin it, Steve in the lead. Destruction, Dimitri Brewski. That was a horrible name. I don't like that one. I'm going to come up with another one. What is it? No, he spun it that time. Did he move? He missed a gear, the who? All right, here we go. Steve Misko in that lead position. Brewski to chase right to the door of Steve Misko, and Misko trying to get out to outside zone number 1. Brewski with the pressure on as they go into outside zone number 2. Both riders working away on the outside line. Transition, Dimitri pops through the smoke. Steve Misko, a great line to the outside, and Dimitri Brewski keeping it off of the wall and over the line. A much better second half of the battle there than the first. Our judges are deliberating on a decision at this time. Who thinks Dimitri Brewski gets the win? All right, who thinks Steve Misko gets the win? Nice. All right, they're gonna go one more time. I really appreciate you guys' involvement. Literally sitting next to me. Thanks, guys. Nothing like a little ego boost to finish off an event. All right, we're going to set our drivers one more time for our final battle here at the Gambler. Dimitri Brewski is going to go head-to-head against Steve Misko one more time. our drivers, go back to the pits, put on some new tires. You'll have that with those prospect dudes. Wouldn't get that with a Brian Hopp in the finals. While we're waiting, I'd like to thank you guys once again for joining us both online and in person, hanging out in the heat here at Raceway Park, the Gambler. Thank you guys for coming out, hanging out with us, listening to me babble all day long. Big shout out to Drift HQ, TireStacks.com, Freedom Motorsports, East Coast Drift School, and South Bay Fuel Injectors for helping support, as well as Hotels Unlimited for helping make this event happen over and over again. Don't forget August 14th and 15th. They will be on the road course here for the next round of the Gambler. Tickets are already live on racewaypark.com. We're moving the Gambler to the road course for the next round with multiple last man standing pots, let it ride tokens. There are tons of avenues to win a bunch of money. Make sure you don't miss out. There may or may not also be a bar there. You are not going to want to miss the next round of the Gambler over on the front track here at Raceway Park. Premio sausage, the way sausage should be. All right, it looks like our drivers are making their way back to the grid for their final battle here at the Gambler here at Raceway Park. Dimitri Brewski sitting on $50 thanks to TireStacks.com and East Coast Drift School with those values locked in this final battle, going up against Steve Misko, who have no idea if he's betting his money or not, but he has $250 thanks to Freedom Motorsports, South Bay Fuel Injectors, and Drift HQ. If Steve did put his money down, that means the winner of this battle will walk away with $300 thanks to the Let It Ride tokens. Dimitri Brewski already winning that $1,600 thanks to the last man standing pool, as well as the winners of this battle will walk away with either $4,000 for the win or $2,000 for a loss. Our third place winner will also walk away with $1,000 cash. At this time, I need our final competing drivers to hurry up and get over to that grid so we can get our final battle going. Dimitri Brewski back there warming up his tires, and a Michael Lesso build E46. Once he gets some heat into those bad Mamma Jammas, put him back on the grid. We'll get Steve Misko back into the burnout box, get his tires warm up, locked in on the grid, and we'll finally get this final battle underway. Dimitri Brewski sitting in that chicane, waiting to take his lead lap here at Raceway Park, the Gambler. Steve Misko in the burnout box, warming up his tires, waiting for him to take that chase position, waiting for these guys to shoot out from underneath the tower. And here comes Steve Misko, rolling up to the grid now, waiting on that new Pro Tree thanks to Raceway Park. Kyle and Chris are getting our cars situated over there, back behind the Raceway Park wall. We'll get them locked into position, those stage lights on, wait for the ambers and the green light, and we'll get this final battle underway. And here we go, Dimitri Brewski in that E46 in the lead position. Steve Misko in the chase. Both drivers initiate working their way to outside zone number 1. Dimitri Brewski just clicking in as Misko makes a move into outside zone number 2. And across the top of the slope and falls to the trying to do the smoke with Dimitri Brewski, fighting back at the rear axle of that E46 across the finish line. Make some noise for Steve Misko, putting the pressure on Dimitri Brewski as Brewski gives him a thumbs up at the window. These boys are out here having fun in their pro-spec built cars here at Raceway Park, the Gambler. These guys have over $300 in Let It Go Ride money, Let It Ride money on the line, as well as they're battling it out for that $4,000 first place finish. You want to harp on my words, boy? All of them are made up. Dimitri Brewski sitting in that chase position. Steve Misko now in the lead. A heated one more time final battle here. Raceway Park, the Gambler. Thousands of dollars on the line. Steve Misko waiting for the lights to illuminate. And our judges are ready. It looks like our drivers are ready. We're waiting for our stage lights to illuminate. Oh, the anticipation is killing me. And there we go, stage lights illuminated, amber's on. Green means go. Here we go, the last half of the final battle here. Raceway Park, the Gambler. Steve Misko in the lead, going up against our number 1 qualifier, Dimitri Brewski. Both drivers initiating the outside zone number 1. Brewski trying to put the pressure on as they work their way to outside zone number 2. Dimitri forward position down Misko. Working out. Dimitri jumps to the smoke. Back to the backside of Steve Misko's car and across the finish line here at Raceway Park, the Gambler. They're really making this easy for the judges over here. We're going to have to wait for the judges' decision. Already facing a one-more-time battle. These guys are cooking tires off in their pro-spec cars here out at Raceway Park, the Gambler. Dimitri Brewski already locking in that last man standing $1,600 win. Still sitting on $50 thanks to TireStacks.com, East Coast Drift School. And Steve Misko, I don't know if he played it or not, but $250 thanks to Freedom Motorsports, South Bay Fuel Injectors, and Drift HQ. Also a big shout out to Andrew Fable, giving me the good rub downs. And the judges have come to a decision. The drivers are going to go one more time. You guys are getting your money's worth here. Dimitri Bruschi and Steve Misko are going to go one more time. All right, as we take a short break to get our drivers some new tires because these prospect dudes need them. We're going to get them back in the pits. Steve Misko, Dimitri Bruschi will do battle one more time, and again to find out who's going to win this round of Raceway Park the Gambler and take home thousands of dollars in prizes here today. If you're still joining us here online, you can see Steve Misko changing out his tires for his one more time battle going up against Dimitri Bruschi. All right, drivers, let's get those tires on and let's finish this up. Yeah, I know. We all are. You got my kid. Look, my daughter's over there and my nephew. They're waiting on me. They're waiting on you, Steve Misko. All right? You're keeping a father from his daughter right now. Hi, Hannah and James. Steve Misko just hanging out in his pits. Let's go. Oh, I know. He's on his one wheel. That's G. G's a G. G knows what's up. Look, he's going to chase him all the way in. You know what's crazy? Is like he's holding that drone as like a stabilizer, and if that thing turns on, those blades kill him. As you can see on the live stream, we got Steve Misko with his Pro Spec car getting ready. Finally got tires on that thing. Working his way towards the grid, where he'll have to do battle for the second one more time battle against Dimitri Brewski. With a couple $100 of Let It Ride tokens on the table, Dimitri Brewski already winning $1,600 of the last man standing pot, as well as the $4,000 first place prize here at the Gambler. These guys are looking to make a winner out of this next bracketed round, as well as I. All right, if you're in the bathroom, this is your warning. Steve Misko is making his way over to the burnout box to warm up that new set of tires. Dimitri Brewski, I have no idea where he is. Is he over there? Oh, he's just chilling on the bleachers? He's hanging out? Oh, he's over there. Oh, he went home. Oh, okay. Said I had enough. All right, Dimitri Brewski's back there warming up his tires, hiding behind the tower where I couldn't see him. Already sitting on the line, waiting for Steve Misko. Yeah, Misko, we were waiting on you, bud. Big shout to G, helping make the live stream happen. He's literally driving around the camera right now. For you guys at home, you guys saw that Premio sausage billboard, the way sausage should be. You guys are getting a little bit of track layout. I don't know if you guys can see it at home, but there's a ton of rubber stuck to this track. This place is sticky. These guys are going to be battling out on this track one more time, again and again. Hopefully not indefinitely. Reese is ready to go home. Dimitri Brewski sitting in that lead position, sitting in the chicane underneath that Raceway Park tower, right behind that new Pro tree. Steve Misko out in the burnout box, warming up his tires. All right, you guys ready for a final battle again? Yeah, I'm gonna start waiting on you guys now. All right, Dimitri Brewski in the lead position, sitting in the chicane, up against Steve Misko in the chase. A lights illuminated, green means go. Dimitri Brewski, let's see if we can get a clean start out of the chicane, and we do. Chase is a race, Steve Misko in that chase position. Brewski going into outside zone number 1, and Steve Misko trying to dive to the smoke, get to outside zone number 2, he does. Right to the backside of Dimitri Brewski's E46. Front clips, Misko out of the smoke, starts to surge back at Dimitri Brewski, who's locked into that last outside zone. These guys not giving an inch. Dimitri Brewski now going to spin around, take that chase position in that E46 prepared by Michael Essa. Then Steve Misko to take that lead position. Make sure you grab some mozzarella sticks from the snack bar. All right, I finished chewing my mozzarella stick. Steve Misko sitting in the lead position in the chicane, going up against Dimitri Brewski. Second half of this final battle, one more time. See if we can actually get a winner here. Stage lights are illuminated. Amber is on. Green means go, let's go, Steve. Find all the gears. That's all of them, we got an initiation. Dimitri trying to put the pressure on Steve Misko's F14 as they work their way to outside zone number 2. Dimitri surges through the smoke, right to the floor, Steve Misko. Transition, works the way to that last and final outside zone. Dimitri Brewski right there on the side of Steve Misko's S14. These guys are definitely making it easy for our judges this week. Our judges are going over our instant replay footage, seeing very similar footage that you guys are seeing at home. Dimitri Brewski making his presence known to Misko the entire track length. And we have a verdict. We're gonna send our drivers right here in the middle of the track. Hey, Misko! What are you doing, bud? Get over here. I'm not walking all the way over there. Get over there. Oh, look, he turned it off. Hey, get back in there. Over there, bud. The center. Where's that, the center? Follow me over to the promised land. Look, like a professional. We're gonna pull out our third place finisher, Nate Chen. We're gonna pull out Nate Chen. Give it up for your final battle contestants here at Raceway Park, the Gambler. Dimitri Brewski and Steve Misko battling it out over and over again. Out here in their Pro Spec cars on 255 tires. Battling it out to the death with walls all around. Come on, Nate, hurry up. I can only chat for so long. Hey, Steve. Steve, did you left those tokens on the board, yeah? Sure? All right. You heard it here from the man himself, Dimitri Brewski, holding on to $50 thanks to TireStacks.com and East Coast Drift School. That monetary value is locked in for this battle. Steve Misko holding on to $250 thanks to Freedom Motorsports, South Bay Fuel Injectors, and Drift HQ. That value also locked in for this battle. That means the winner of this battle is going to walk away with $300 from Let It Ride tokens, as well as the $4,000 first place check. Make some noise for Nate Chen and his supercharged V8 built by Committed Service Brand, our third place winner here. Make some noise for him as he exit out the vehicle. Show him some love. Your third place finisher here at Raceway Park the Gambler, Nathaniel Chen. He can't celebrate, we gotta turn it all off. All right, give it up one more time for your third place finisher, Nate Chen. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for incredibly all too long. We have a verdict. With $300 of Let It Ride tokens on the line, $4,000 in a big check. All the money being won. Dimitri Brewski already winning $1,600 from the last man standing pot because Steve Misko is a big baby and didn't throw $100 in there. But the verdict is Dimitri Brewski wins the Raceway Park the Gambler. Now make some noise for Steve Misko, coming in second place here at Raceway Park the Gambler. All these guys throwing down. Make some noise for all these prospect dudes out here in 255 tires, throwing it down with the locals, taking away some money. Stealing. With that being said, make sure you guys don't miss the next Gambler here at August 14th and 15th. It ain't happening in the Drift Stadium. It's over on the road course where we got more last man standing pots, Let It Ride tokens, and more $1,000 prize winning. Sign up now at the racewaypark.com. Get your tickets, register to drive. You're not gonna wanna miss this one. Thank you guys for all hanging out with us today here live at Raceway Park, hanging out in the sun with me, listening to me babble. Thank you guys on both YouTube and Facebook, and thank you guys for reminding us this is no longer a dragger strip. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Thank you, have fun. If you guys are working your way out, we'd like to celebrate with our drivers. Our drivers are going to work their way out to the podium to receive their big checks. Make some noise one final time for your top three finishers here. Raceway Park, the Gambler. so proper. What? Do I gotta tell Dimitri that I spent his $1,600 at the strip club last night?